Test. Test. Twitch.com. Oh, fuck me. Log out. Log in. Oh, fuck. Nüfly mag. Credentials. Oh, fuck. Come on. Search. Nüfly guest host. Nüfly credentials. Career cost, miles, photos, Nüfly guest hosts, mouse, ladies, photos, constant light, chin inspo, interview questions, Nüfly merch, donation link, drive, Nüfly, media kit, Nüfly close. Yo, what is our password? I don't. Where's our credentials?
Twitch is swimming with a capital S.
Uh-huh.
Are we live right now? No. W1MM1NG.
Wait. Hold up.
Catherine left.
Okay, we got an ad playing right now, and we are trying to go. All right, cool.
Experience the new Galaxy S25G on
Cool.
T-Mobile, the first and only nationwide 5G network.
Oh shit! All right, what's up, everyone? This is your host, Daniel, aka Dakfu. I am the head designer, content creator for Nüfly. We are joined by two other of our team members today. We have Dawn and Belinda in the building right now. I'm going to have them introduce themselves real quick. I think we have our guest Aleta coming in here. All right, I'm going to have Dawn introduce himself and then have Belinda afterwards. All right, hang tight, guys.
Hello.
Keep walking until you see the bike rack.
My name is Don. I am here with Belinda and Dan.
What's your handles, bro?
My handle is _UOP.
What do you do here, bro?
No, not the parking lot.
I help out as much as I
The
can.
bike rack is in between 17 and
Okay. For sure.
And Belinda's on the phone right now, and I'll give this back to Dan.
It's not on, we're on street.
So I'm just gonna pretend I'm Belinda right now. Hey guys, my name's Belinda. You can follow me at ZenRabbit.
It should like have put
I do videography. Oh shit. Okay. So welcome to our 8th live stream today. We have a lot going on today. I know originally we said we were going to be entering a workflow, but we actually got caught up in discussing some merchandise. So if you guys don't mind, feel free to hang out with us. We are discussing right now potentially what vendors we may be using.
Yes.
Our merch idea for our live streamers right now.
Are you playing any music?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So as I was saying, the game is hella loud. So as I was saying, you guys get it.
Okay.
God damn. Sorry, I'm still adjusting my mic right now. Okay. So right now we are in the middle of talking about merchandise that Don's handling for this project. Our idea right now are actually scented candles. We have a very special way of how we're gonna approach this right now. So right now we're still in the middle of hashing things out, so please bear with us while we talk about this, and we invite you to if you have any questions in the meantime for our conversation, feel free to leave them in the chat. We're keeping our channels open. Feel free to discuss it with us. Again, we are creating candles as our merchandise for everyone. So yeah, let's keep going. I'm gonna put on the gain so folks can hear. Okay. Test. Okay. So just to get everyone up to speed, we are in between right now beeswax candles and soy blend candles. From Don's research, we found that beeswax lasts longer and they're more eco-friendly. However, they're going to be more on the expensive side.
Hi. The direction. You gave me the address to the 18th.
Okay, we have our guest here actually, so
I don't know.
if you guys don't mind.
Come in.
We are live streaming right now actually, so
Hi.
grab a seat.
Hi.
Hello. That's good.
Alright. I made it. You made it.
Okay.
Top spot. Great.
Hold up. Let me just reintroduce everyone in here.
I didn't even say anything yet.
Right. Okay. All right, live stream. We are going to reintroduce everyone in this room right now. And so yeah, today I am one of the 4 hosts. My name is Daniel. I go by Dakfu. I'll be taking care of how our streaming goes today. I'm gonna have the rest of our team introduce themselves, starting with Don.
Hi, I'm Don. I'm here with the Nüfly crew and a special guest, Aleta Lee. Hey. What I do here is I try to help out as much as I can. Cool.
Cool. Maybe Belinda and Aleta. So anything from just a little
What's
about yourself,
up? This is ZenRabbit, also known as Belinda Man. Which way am I pointing here? This way or that way? There we go. We got Aleta back here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be editing Miles' someone's foot in there. I don't know which way. This reverse thing's really messing me up. I'm gonna be editing a video that I got of Miles last week at our photo shoot. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Aleta.
Oh, do I have to talk in there?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. This is Aleta. I'm here to hang out today and have some fun with the Nüfly crew. And just hang out and bother them for a little bit. So come bother me with them.
How could people find you?
So I'm not too much on social media anymore, but if you want to follow me, you can go to @a.lee.ta, Aleta, and I post stuff on there sometimes. Follow me.
Sick.
Link in bio. I'm kidding.
Link in bio. Click below.
Okay. So getting you up to board too, Aleta. You caught us in the middle of we're talking about merchandise right now.
Okay.
Nüfly merchandise. We had this original idea of creating. So the original idea, of course, for merch, which we're still gonna do, is like clothing merch with caps, t-shirts. But then we wanted to explore some other ideas of
More intention.
Yeah, because with clothes you kind of wear passively, right? We're thinking of creating some kind of merch where people would intentionally use it. You know, in other words, like, oh, I'm not wearing just a black cap that says Nüfly. Like, I'm actually lighting a candle from Nüfly. It's a lot more intentional. And so the idea takes some inspiration from what A24 is doing right now for their merch. They have like a set of scented candles, and each one's labeled like, oh, one for like rom-com, one for horror, with like kind of like genres of when you would like something. So our play on that, we were thinking of something like candles that maybe when you're a decompressing candle, a 3 a.m. candle work session, or a candle maybe that smells of pine to kind of get you outside of, you know, to make you feel like you're outside since...
Like reset?
Right, like most of our audience are similar to us and we're kind of like workaholics, you know, we're always indoors.
Or even like the whole quarantine thing, right? Like
Right,
you have to be
right.
indoors. You
Just
smell it outside.
nice.
How's the candle?
Yeah, so we were kind of brainstorming like, when do you light a candle, right? And that's how a lot of these kind of categories came about. So Dawn's kind of leading right now on creating kind of like a price sheet for us. We're trying to weigh our options right now between making it ourselves or finding a vendor. Whether it's gonna be beeswax candles or soy-based candles
Or soy blend candles.
or soy blend candles. We need to figure out numbers right now, and that's what we're at least talking about. So what do we have so far, Don?
So for candles, I didn't really know much about it until I started researching, but beeswax has been used unanimously throughout centuries, and just, I want to say, the last 30 to 40 years, there's been this upcycle of soy-based candles, and so there's soy, 100% soy, and then it's soy blended, which is usually there's additives to smooth out the wax or to make it last longer or to permeate the smell more. But then those chemicals that are included in the blend are actually harmful for your environment, or not environment, but the space that you're in. So the main ingredient that's used is called paraffin, and it's this chemical that's made from petroleum that's bleached, and also it's very bad for the air that you breathe in. Say that you have there's no wind flow inside your room, etc. So a lot of companies use this to cut corners to make this candle last longer, etc. So we're trying to stray away from that and just try to use all natural soy, because it's also not only cheaper than beeswax, but it's more eco-friendly. I feel like, I mean, they're both on the same level at this, in a sense, but beeswax does last longer. It's a higher quality, and as well as it doesn't go bad fast, or it doesn't run out fast. So right now we're just looking for different sources, purveyors for beeswax, and see how we could use that to leverage our scents that we're trying to create for you guys, essentially. But yeah, that we're just going over the numbers right now, and we would love to hear more from you guys. What kind of scents do you guys like?
Paraffins, that's interesting that you talk about paraffins because a lot of like body products have paraffins in it, and everything you said about it does not sound good at all. And the fact that you're putting it on your body doesn't sound great, but yeah, it's petroleum based, so I'm sure in some sense it makes it like lotions or like face moisturizers or stuff like that, but maybe it's not.
Maybe when it's like burning, it's probably bad for you, right? Like versus like lathering it on. I don't know.
Can you repeat that again? Where did paraffins come from?
From petroleum.
From
From petroleum, and these are what kind of candles?
It's just the additive that comes in, that they
With
mix
cheap
the soy
candles.
with cheap candles.
So are soy blend candles?
So
Do they include that?
some of them do. Some of them have. So the ones that I've put on the board, they're 100% soy.
Okay, we need to leave a note somewhere to always
So,
check.
Check for
Always check with our.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last thing we do is take a
I'll do
shortcut
that another time.
and get cheap ass candles that kill people.
I mean, I think that's what we want to avoid at all costs.
Yeah. Can you add that somewhere? Like, just somewhere on this sheet saying, like, always check that whoever we're creating these candles with, that it's 100% soy blend.
Are these tests that you have on the table that Joan have made? Or just like samples?
So
A little bit of
Linda
both.
went to a workshop, and then she picked out scents, and then they poured it for her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I
Where-
brought the vessel,
Yeah.
and then I had to buy this piece of shit chalice.
Yeah, for real.
Ooh, this smells good. Lemongrass.
Here, I got it. Like,
Yeah.
always.
I put it in.
Oh, you got it?
Thanks. Grapefruit.
Oh, yeah, okay. Here, let's make this in like.
You like it?
Yeah.
It's just.
Color coded.
Here, I'm gonna dump it down here. And then I'm gonna do this, and then do this. Oops, that's ugly.
Smell a bunch of like stuff.
Yellow.
And
Okay, we're gonna need. Can you help with this part?
Yeah.
We're gonna need. We need to figure out how. So these would be like 50, right? Let's say. Should it be above 50? I'm assuming that
There's mistakes.
we're gonna fuck up with
Yeah,
a lot of these. So
Yeah.
maybe like 100.
Yeah.
What do you think? 60, 75?
I want to.
Or should we just do 50 and then let's use all of those first, and even if we're like, yeah, we got 10 candles, we can at least still put it up and then like re-up on the next batch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to go towards the like wooden wick sticks.
Okay.
You ever seen
Dude,
that?
yeah, dude, dump it in here. Leave a note why wood over normal.
I think this is cooler. You don't really see that very often. kind of expensive.
Wooden wick
Like the
sticks.
wicks wood in the
Yeah,
middle?
yeah.
Whoa,
Do
I've
you
never
think
seen
they
that.
burn faster though because they're
I
wood?
heard they
Burn slower?
slower. Yeah.
I've never seen a wick. Wick.
Yeah. Perfect.
What if it was a Palo Santo wood wick?
What is that?
What is that?
Palo Santo? It's kind
Monsanto?
of, yeah, Palo Santo. You burn it and it's kind of like a cleansing.
What if it's an incense?
An incense inside a candle?
Yeah,
That'd be very.
That would be like
That's a
say that as a
concept.
jasmine wood stick,
That's a concept right there.
right? But then the wax is like lavender, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like-
That's a lot.
that is a lot.
That is a lot going on.
There's a
Well,
lot going on, but it's like, you know, levels of smell. You know what I mean?
so
You
we're
blow out the
looking for
candle,
wick,
It's like a wooden, like you're at a campfire type of vibe.
wick sticks.
Lemongrass and pine.
Wick
Oh,
what?
okay, so it's-
Wooden?
Yes, LG is
Wooden
lemongrass.
wicks?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a
Wooden
pine.
wick.
I don't
Wholesale.
know what it is, but that's fine.
Where was the workshop?
Wooden
wick.
candle wicks.
This like shop on.
Okay, I like this. I like this. Okay.
Oh, those
These
are
look
sick.
sick.
Near therapy.
What is this? Shop now. Eco-friendly chick cork lids. No, we don't need lids. Fragrances. Wicks. Here we go with the wicks. This looks like a really cool place.
Yeah.
Shop already made wicks, customized sized wicks. Explore your wicks. Okay.
Drop it.
Yeah.
Wooden wick co.
So let's just go all the way in for now. So I'm gonna say inches. Fuck.
This one's fucked up.
Crackling wick.
Let's just say crackling wick.
Oh, the other side.
Smallest
Do
width
you know why?
3 inches. Let's say it's shoot or shot 5 inches.
Yeah.
Clips. What is a clip?
I think it's to hold the thing straight. You know what I mean?
So pre-inserted.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got some
Mine
numbers.
hasn't been growing.
Let's say 100.
Oh, that's
That's
all
hella
cheap.
good.
Bigger, but less leaves.
Okay, so we're working on a sheet right now.
Maybe because mine's not getting
There's some sensitive information here, so I don't want to share the sheet. So this wick sticker.
So it kind of like has stopped growing, but it's still healthy.
So I'm gonna say 50.
No.
The price is
Video space
26.7.
near the book.
Got it. I probably all have it here.
Nah.
So I'm gonna merge. Merge.
Illusions.
Okay, we got our link. These guys also sell vessels. Dude, this is looking like a one-shop stop, man.
Think so?
Dude, you got wicks, fragrances, vessels, and packaging. Vessels, fragrances, packaging.
Holy shit, look at this.
Fuck yeah. Can you go through some
Yeah.
and then like throw in a quantity of 50 and put a number on the price sheet?
Dang. So much cheese. His outfit is really good. Sorry. Who dressed him? Did he dress
himself.
Okay.
We sent him a mood board, and I sent him which colors we were gonna use.
Okay.
I used to not be about like browns and cans and stuff like that, but I like it a lot.
It's more earthy.
Yeah, super.
So I'm gonna let you work on this in the meantime, and okay. So what's our stream from 1 to 4? Is that? Is it 124? 124?
Ooh, 16 ounces.
124. Okay.
It's a nice studio. Dang, Miles.
So, just a quick thing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
our format, at least what we're trying to do right now,
Okay.
is so previously we have only been having work sessions, right? We're trying to explore ways of just switching out our live stream formats.
Okay.
So we were thinking that at least 2/3 of our live stream it could be the work session, but then for the last third, we'd rather it opening up for like discussion, you know,
Okay.
and having a guest like you here would provide us like if you have any specific questions for us or like let's just open up into like a Q&A kind of session.
Yeah.
So just heads up like around 3.
Okay.
I know.
Wait, is this going on that long?
This is 1 to 4.
I
No
know
pressure.
that.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to.
Where we're going?
Going where?
Huh?
It's our homie's birthday.
What time?
Well, we don't
we
have to
won't
be
get there
there.
until later.
I know, I didn't
And
realize.
now it's
it
at
was
the house party. And now it's a house
Yeah, it's a
party,
house
so
party.
we can show up whenever.
Yeah. I just she didn't tell me this was
She
like
did not tell us that.
3 hours.
Huh? I didn't tell you it was 3 hours.
No, she didn't tell me it was 3 hours.
I just told you to
thought
call-
it was an hour.
Okay. Well, no
It's
pressure.
like, ha 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 ha.
No pressure. But
We don't have to get there until later. They're
I
gonna be
know.
They're gonna be going for a while.
I know, but I got plans after that too.
Oh, what time you gotta go to that? Like, what's the next thing?
I might need to leave there around 5.
Around 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we'll figure it out. Like,
Or-
I can always come back to you.
Or how about maybe we'll do our Q&A this like at 2 or something for an hour, and then after that I can handle the rest of the stream of just a work session. And if you guys need to step out, like that way you're not. It's not 4
I'm like,
p.m.
doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, you guys
Hanging
got
out here.
jet out of here. I'm flexible with that if you're
Yeah.
down for something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and if you need to stay, you can stay. I just like I'm trying to work out my schedule because I can't. I don't know how long I can stay at that part.
Okay, I didn't make something else
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
just-
something
It's a
like
linen
that.
box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Price. How much for
We'll
50
figure it
days?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
15
It's
bucks,
Fine.
bro.
Just throw it
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Just throw it on.
Sorry.
It's
No,
part,
no,
it's
no.
part of the price
I-
point.
I-
You need to make those.
I guess I didn't realize how long these sessions were.
No, we should have maybe told you in advance.
Yeah.
And again, like this isn't like a one-time thing.
Yeah,
Feel free to come back
right.
if you're like, yo, I got nothing to do on Saturday. I want to hang out
Yo,
with
it's
like us.
poppin' Twitch.
Yeah. Come through. Like we don't even have to do it
You're
today
gonna be a
too.
Twitch personality now.
I know. I just want to be guest appearance, like a pop up sometime.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Hey.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because
for
my
sure.
gym's not too far from here too.
Okay.
So then.
Okay. Okay. So if you're cool with it, maybe we could start at 2. We'll just chat for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then at 3, like I could take over and I could just continue like the
Okay.
workflow session.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta leave at 3, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, keep talking out loud, guys.
So it's just on right now.
Yeah, we're just live streaming right now. So it's stuck
Oh.
on my page. Maybe I could.
The fucking. What do you got going on after?
I'm gonna go to Oakland
Oh,
For what?
to see a friend.
Oh.
Ooh.
The hinge.
A friend.
The hinge one.
Huh? What you talking about? We're electric right now.
What?
What?
I didn't say anything.
What?
Huh?
Seeing a friend.
Yeah. I was here until like fucking 2 a.m. last night. I don't know what you were feeling.
So tell me about the studio space. Is it all like folks just running out?
Mostly just me and Dan, and then like
Or I meant like
Oh, overall,
Yeah,
yeah. It's
overall.
mostly like mostly like artist
Yeah.
spots, and
Yeah.
then there are therapists here, and
It's a great spot.
hairstylists,
Uh-huh.
and
Plant people. There's like flower stores.
What?
There's like flower stores.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah, yeah,
store-
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it all storefronts downstairs?
Yeah,
too?
yeah, downstairs.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, mostly it's just like an artist space.
Nice. How'd you come across it? You knew about it?
Yeah.
From how?
So back in the day, me and a couple of friends wanted to.
That one clothing line?
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. And we wanted to find a space, and then we were checking out this place and a couple other studio spaces, but this one had like the better price point as well as the necessity or the amenities that it comes with.
Right, right.
So this was kind of like the ideal spot.
Nice.
And then when I joined, I don't know, what, 9 months ago, something like that.
Has
8
it
months
really
ago?
been that long?
I feel like it's been almost a year now.
Yeah, almost a
Oh my
year.
gosh.
Like I can't remember. when it
We
was.
talked about this, and then she just shot it. Like I brought it up one time, and then Belinda's like, "We're going for it." And then we signed papers like a couple days later, and then we had
Do
the
they have
space.
just like openings? They still have like
yeah. So like
offices open and
all
stuff.
all these rooms have different sizes.
Yeah.
And usually it's fairly open. There's another location in Oakland too that's kind of the exact same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
This place is called Active Space. If you want to learn more, feel free to reach out to us on any of our handles. Yeah. But Aleta, yeah, tell us more about what's going on in your life.
Oh my gosh, so much.
Yeah, give us what they call it now,
The
tea.
411, the T.
The tea.
The
Give us the
tea.
tea, Aleta.
Um,
How's work?
let's see. Work is stressful AF. But I'm hanging in there. I recently got promoted.
Hey.
And now I am a project manager for the San Francisco Arts Commission. I basically manage public art installations in the city.
Should she be getting in front of that or?
No,
No, it's okay. And it's like, honestly, like a dream job of mine that I've been trying to do for the longest time, and like being able to finally do a job that I have dreamed about doing and bring art to the city that I grew up in and the communities that shaped who I am today is so awesome, but it's also so stressful. So I'm hanging in there. I think it just takes time to adjust, and with any new job, it just takes time when you're learning all the new processes and more responsibility. But it's been really fun so far. I got to meet a lot of cool artists, got to work with some artists that I previously worked with in old projects, and it's cool to see their development in their practice and their art, as well as where I am in my career now. So that's really
Nice.
fun. Yeah.
Are you from SF?
I'm
Right?
from SF, born and raised.
Born and raised.
Me and Belinda, we went to
Unicorns.
freaking middle school together.
Elementary,
Middle school, but I didn't know her.
Yeah.
And I met her again,
Formally.
in another era of our lives,
Yeah.
a few years ago,
Yeah.
through a mutual friend. But I guess
Burning Man.
we were meant to connect for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner or later.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to UC Berkeley.
Damn.
So I stayed local. I was in the Bay since, growing up until college, and then after college, I kind of moved around a lot.
Yeah?
So, yeah. I
Where did
moved
you move in between?
So right after college, I moved to China. in Shenzhen, which is like a city right next to Hong Kong. I worked out there for 1.5 years. I was doing marketing out there. I thought I was gonna have a career in marketing and branding. And I was working for a telecommunications company selling cell phones. God, that was such another life of mine. But it was cool while I was there. I definitely recommend, like, if anyone can work abroad, like, do it. If you have the opportunity to do it, do it. It's like such a life-changing experience, and like to actually, it's different when you're a student and like you're studying abroad and like you're studying somewhere different. Right. But when you're actually like working out there, living a life out there, making money out there, yeah, it definitely like was a huge culture shock. But it like I feel like super blessed to have that experience and be able to be exposed to a different culture, especially being Chinese and being able to live in China. And then after that, I was like, I don't think I can do the marketing thing anymore. I felt like I just didn't want to work for the man and make money for someone else to get richer. So during that time, I minored in art practice at Berkeley, and then I was also involved in an art collective out in China. And we did a lot of different art exhibitions in the different neighborhoods in Shenzhen, and brought like local artists and international artists to help showcase their work.
Was it for like installations as well? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we did that in a few different neighborhoods, and I was like, dude, I really like this, and I want to get back into the arts, and I knew that I wanted to move to New York. So I was like, okay, well, if I know I want to get into the arts, I want to move to New York, I should apply to grad school. So I applied to a few schools, ended up getting into NYU, and then I ended up moving to New York for 2 years.
Damn.
Yeah, it was amazing. Amazing.
Why'd you come back?
Yeah, you know what? I think about that too, because I don't think I got New York out of my system. I feel like usually people are there for at least 5 years, and then they're like, okay, I'm done. I gotta get out of New York. But I was only there for 2 years, and I think about like, had I gone back, what it would have been like. But when I was there, it was tough. It was a struggle. Grad student, not making any money.
Right. You couldn't
Really
live.
enjoy.
I couldn't live.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You didn't have the money to spend.
I was a starving grad student. And then after that, I mean, like, I had a few jobs, but I couldn't really stick like a real like full-time gig where I wanted to work at a museum or some art organization or
Like bigger
institution.
scale art.
It was just really hard. So I was involved in the arts. I mean, I was an artist assistant, and then I also was doing consulting for our art nonprofit. But oh my God, I was grinding so hard.
Yeah.
But it definitely taught me how to like that New York grind, that New York hustle.
Yeah.
I feel like in the West Coast things are just like
Lax.
so chill, so chill. But it also like got to me, like I couldn't sleep a lot because my mind was always running.
What?
It was always like
So it's not dollars.
You go
overthinking
to
things,
format?
and then I think it's just like the vibe of the
Yes,
city,
like the sound.
where things are just
Format.
constantly going,
Go to
constantly in
number,
motion,
go to
constantly
normal.
like always something going on, and like it was just like when you're surrounded by that energy, it kind of consumes you, and it's a lot. But
There's no balance. You're just like
no, you're like on all the time.
all the time.
But I'm glad I had to go through that experience because it's good to know that grind and like have that mindset of like grinding it out, especially in the West Coast. So I did that, tried to figure it out, and at the same time I was looking for a few other opportunities, and then I applied to a few things and ended up getting an opportunity in Texas.
Wow.
So I moved to Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where were
So
you in Texas?
I was in this small town called Marfa, and Marfa has a population of about 2,000 people, which is like basically the size of a high school in some places. And it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. So the biggest like large city near Marfa, which is 3 hours away, is El Paso.
Mhm.
And so you have to fly into El Paso and then drive 3 hours to get into Marfa. And I ended up interning at a museum out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've always been involved with art one way or another.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I definitely knew that it was something that I wanted in my life and something that I wanted to pursue and make a career out of it. Make not even a career. Like it was just something that I knew I needed in my life and something that I wanted to constantly have in whatever I did.
Like being involved in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how'd you end up coming back to SF?
So my internship ended in Texas, and then I was like, well, I can go back to New York, or I can go back to the Bay. And my internship ended around wintertime,
Mhm.
December, January.
What year was this?
This was the end of 2014.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not going back to New York. It's so cold.
Oh yeah, that's a bad time to go back to
It
New York.
is. So I was like, I'm going to just kick it in Cali for a little bit. And like, if it doesn't work out, I'll move back to New York.
Mm.
But I just felt like once I moved back to the Bay, everything kind of just lined up for me. And I feel like when that typically happens, there's that energy of like knowing that maybe you're supposed to be here. Like you're supposed to stick it out here and see it out and see what comes of it. And I think that was the right choice. I mean, I feel like if I didn't stay, I wouldn't be where I am now in my career, and what I'm doing, and yeah.
Yeah. Do you have like a personal mission by any chance you're trying to attain throughout like your journey right now?
I mean, I would love to do this on a larger scale. Right now, I do it on a city level, and it's a pretty big scale. But I would love to do it like at a national, international level. But a lot of it is just like I want to be able to promote artists at any level that they're at and be able to share their work and share their creativity and be able for them to like expose their creativeness and their expression in a way that can inspire others. And I feel like that's part of my life purpose where I want to be able to facilitate and be a platform for that. Because I feel like I have been so impacted with like art being so inspiring in my life, and it's done so much for me, so I feel like it can do so much for other people also.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm sure going through something like that, you know, like you work with a lot of different type of artists.
Yeah.
Do you have, from your experience, were there any do you have a preference in what you're looking for? Like, do you know what works and doesn't work? Like, how do you decide? Because I'm sure with your type of work, you come across a whole bunch of artists.
Yeah.
Like, is it all usually based on theme or mood or?
I mean, I consider myself really lucky in the sense of like the projects that I work on at the Arts Commission are very, like I get to work in a lot of different medium. Given like public art most of the time is like a lot of it's outdoors and they have to be like sculptures that are able to withstand like outdoor conditions and like made of certain materials that are durable. But I also am lucky that I get to work. I did a lot of work with like temporary art, and also I'm working on like a 2D program right now. So I get to go to people's studios, visit them, see what kind of like paintings they have or photography so I'm not really looking for like anything specific. but I feel really lucky that I don't only have to focus on working with artists in like a particular medium. It's kind of across the board.
Is there like a particular theme that SF chooses art installations? Like, is it just anybody that wants to showcase their art for the public? It's just that.
For the most part, yeah. We don't really go by theme. So for example, I'm working on an airport project right now. So Arts Commission has a lot of projects and installations in the airport. And there's like no particular theme that we're looking for. And I'm working on this like huge connector walkway that's almost 150 feet long. And so we came up with a short list of artists that work in like 2D form and illustration and painting and more like not sculptural work but like actual like 2D work. So yeah, and it doesn't have to be any specific theme really. It's I don't think we want to constrict artists into working in a specific theme because all artists have a specific have their own style and have their own themes and whatever they work with. So we want to just like embrace that, and if it fits into the project, if we feel like it's appropriate for like the site or the art location, then that's even better.
So is it like all these submissions come in and then you guys have a panel or something? You guys all vote on it?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So what if there's like a piece that's like, has there ever been like a submission where it's like offensive or just like very?
So I've heard, not while I've been doing it, but there have been, I wouldn't say so much offensive, but like
it's not safe.
Subject matter is not safe or like questionable. I mean, but that's like art in itself too. Like art shouldn't feel safe all the time.
True.
And I think that's also a conversation to be had about like public art and like what we put out there, because
It's
like
kind of like the identity of the city, right?
yeah, and also it's like what is controversial or what is like should be censored, what should not be, and what is I think that's like a larger conversation that is in public art about like what is safe to put out there and what's not, and like art a lot of times should be like pushing the envelope. It should be making people think more than just like, oh, this is so pretty. You know?
Examples of something you think that should have been like put up, but for whatever reason someone was like, nah, like it's too risky or something.
Well, disagreements.
Not that I've come across. Not that I've come across. Yeah.
What about that one that that voted?
Yeah, but that wasn't
mayor
so
just-
much offensive. It was just like the content matter was something different than what was expected.
Oh, like that one got pulled, right?
It got pulled.
What was the piece?
So it's not up yet, but basically it was.
Exclusive. You heard it here first.
No, actually, it's all on the news.
Oh.
It's out there. It's out there.
Just kidding.
But basically, there was a project that I'm taking over now. But there was the first iteration of it where an artist got far enough into the artist selection process and got selected for her proposal for a sculpture of Dr. Maya Angelou. And this was an ordinance that was signed and passed by the Board of Supervisors where they wanted to increase the number of women statues that were honored in the city. Because right now we have like a ratio that's not very balanced of like male representation and like male monuments, and so this was the city trying to forge more women representation and honoring them. So first iteration of it, I wasn't involved with it, but an artist got selected and ended up anyway, her proposal was selected and was recommended to be approved, but when City Hall and mayor and the folks that saw that, they thought that it wasn't very fitting of what they had imagined the sculpture to be. Because it wasn't actually a statue of a figure of a woman, of Dr. Maya Angelou. It was actually more conceptual piece of a book, because Dr. Maya Angelou, she wrote a lot, and it was a bronze book sculpture with the image of Maya Angelou on the book. And I think that whole thing is really interesting too, because it's like, well, how do we represent like a woman, and are we representing her like in an actual realistic figurative figure form as a sculpture, or can we as artists, especially because we like to push the envelope and we like to represent a person in a different way maybe, or creatively expressive in a different way, and this is like something that they weren't expecting, because they were expecting like an actual 3D sculptural figure,
Right.
and so that piece got pulled, and now I'm on the project working on a new iteration of it.
So you work with the artist?
No, we're starting all over.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be an iteration of Maya Angelou. It's gonna be something else. Or?
No, it's still gonna be Maya Angelou. It's just we redid the competition. And
that's the subject matter?
still the subject matter.
I
She
see,
is
I see.
still the subject matter.
I see.
But the goals of the project are more refined now to make sure that the project sponsors are getting what they're looking for, which is like an actual 3D sculptural form of Maya Angelou.
How if I was an artist I wanted to submit something for this, how could someone
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, submit, or where can I find, like, is there like a website where like, yo, these are open bids?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
or-
So we always put out calls. We have a lot of projects that come out of the Arts Commission, which is really exciting because artists can apply. So the best way is to visit our website, sfartscommission.org, and we have a part of our website, I think it's Call for Artists, where you can see all the calls that we're looking for. Also, if you sign up for a newsletter, you will always get notified of new calls that come out. You can sign up for our newsletter. If you go to the homepage and scroll all the way down, there's a button to sign up for it. And we also have this thing called the pre-qualified pool, and that happens every 2 years where artists can apply. And if you are accepted into that pool, a panel looks at your portfolio, and if you score high enough, you're accepted into the pool. Sometimes we actually don't do calls, and we actually just look into the pool. So you don't even have to apply again and again and again. It'll be part of the pool.
So the way this works, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
someone submits like a proposal and then you guys will fund this proposal and see it through? Like how, I guess like,
So,
how can someone,
not quite.
not quite, how does someone make a living as an artist if they wanted to
Yeah.
work with you guys?
So, the part where you're saying signing a proposal, we don't start with a proposal. So typically, artists, if they want to be considered, they will apply to a call and they'll submit like their portfolio and their past work, and so we see their work and what might be appropriate or what kind of style and themes they work in. And so it's just like a first pass at looking at their work. And then if they are selected to move on to the next phase of the project, then they have the opportunity to create a proposal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask, like, so I guess my biggest question for this program right now
Yeah.
is that how does someone make a living doing art?
That's a good
and
question.
contributing it to SF because I'm sure for us natives over here, we could see like this is very subjective. I think art's kind of plateaued in SF. It's extremely safe. It's very like liberal. It's very, in my opinion, kind of two-faced.
Yeah,
People like to say one thing like, oh, like SF stands united against hate, but there's like micro racism going on. Like there's a big difference in classism over here. I'm sure like the last people would think about when talking about those problems is how art can like affect this. So like I was always curious like how someone can contribute their work to the city, and is it just like you get the exposure clout, or can you get paid off of doing something like this, or should they be like selling their own art and this is just like credibility?
I'll give you an example. So I have a homie, his name's Muse. If y'all don't know Muse, y'all gotta look up Muse. But
he's dating Amina, right?
I met his girl once, I think. But Muse, like his name's Muse Sese, and he is a local artist. He's from SoCal, but
Not this guy.
Muzae.
Z.
He's dating Amina.
You say that like I like Amina's right
Dated
there.
my old classmate before.
For real?
Olivia. Boss? No.
But that's the homie, and like, okay, so his story was he's from SoCal. He moved up here to go to SF State, and he was studying not art. I think he was studying sociology or something like that. But obviously he was an artist too, and he created his own art on the side, and he wanted to get integrated into the art space and the art world. And so I actually had met him first time as an intern. I was interning at the Arts Commission, and he was interning at the Arts Commission too.
Oh, what?
Yeah, but we like crossed paths once because I had just started my internship and he was ending his internship. But I think he was just trying to create ways to get into the space. And so fast forward, I didn't see him. Fast forward maybe like 2 years later, I'm at my homie's Ace's art show. I believe it was my homie Ace in Oakland, Part 2 Gallery, which supports a lot of local artists too, so definitely check that out.
Yeah, Adrian, Octavius. He was supposed to have a show there.
This is a venue.
At Part 2 Gallery.
Part 2 Gallery. So fast forward, I bump into. Well, I'm going there for my homie Ace, or I think it was just some art show, but I knew Ace's studio was like on top of the gallery space.
Oh shit.
So I visited, and then Muse was there too, because Muse's studio spot was in the same place. And I was like, dude, I think I know you from somewhere, but I don't know from what. And then we realized, like, oh snap, like we met before, we interned together, and like he was doing his art. So he's at the studio, he's doing his art thing, and that's when he was like, he's kind of blowing up, not like he is right now, but he was,
emerging.
Yeah, he's emerging.
Mm-hmm.
And so he kind of started like a lot where local artists were starting, where he was trying to get his foot in the door, especially with the Arts Commission, with public art. And since he interned there, he kind of understood at least what we did and kind of the process.
The operation.
So he started to apply to a few different calls for artists, and like I remember during that time, like he would always make it as a finalist or like almost there, but like, and then create a proposal for the project and get that far, but like not get selected. When we would talk about it, I was like, dude, just like keep going for it and keep applying, because like obviously folks like your work, because you're getting to a point where they're selecting you at least to like start making a proposal.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're got to that level, so just keep doing what you're doing. And like eventually I think he like applied to a few, maybe a handful, and then ended up getting a project. So now he has a mosaic piece at a homeless facility, I believe, in the city. But now he's being considered for a bunch of other art projects for the Arts Commission.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually working with him and Point 2 Gallery right now because we're purchasing some 2D artwork for a new office building for city. It's on 49 South Van Ness. It's on Van Ness and Mission. And we're really interested in buying his artwork. So if that all goes through, I mean, we're gonna have some of his artwork. And then so I think that was just an example of like how someone emerging as an artist kind of was able to like work his way up, and like he's killing it right now. I mean, he's done like I think he was at Miami Basel with Juxtapose a year or two ago, and he's doing like solo shows in San Jose at the ICA in San Jose, and I mean, it's just like a hustle, you know. It's just like you gotta keep doing your work, grinding it out and doing it. But like your hard work will pay off, you know, if you just like make those connections and put yourself out there and like keep working at it. I mean,
Persistence, right?
yes. And also like, dude, his stuff is like selling like hotcakes, like flying off the shelves, literally. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, it looks great. Like,
Yeah.
let's see that first post.
Oh, so that you see that one right there, his first post. That's the mosaic piece for the Arts Commission that he did.
He also painted that basketball court that got featured.
He painted that basketball court in Oakland.
When Steph
There's
Curry
like a
went
really
on there?
colorful one.
Wait, is it this video?
Yes.
The main courts are these two landscapes, and then you have at the 3-point area 4 rainbows reflecting the diversity of the community. And within those rainbows, you have a kind of an abstract interpretation of home.
For a lot of basketball players, the idea of the
So hard for it, but like it definitely took time to get to where it is.
It takes time.
So takeaways. It takes time. Building relationships.
Keep working.
Building your portfolio.
So how about this? Do you have any tips for introverted people who want to, I guess, hit this level? Like.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
You gotta you gotta get out there. You
have to
really
become an
have to.
ambivert.
You really have to network. I mean, it's just part of the game. Like, if you want to have exposure and you want more people to see your art and know about your art, like, you really gotta put yourself out there.
You gotta speak up.
Not be shy about showcasing your art, and like not be shy about people maybe saying that they don't like your art. Like, art is so subjective anyway. I mean, it's so subjective. Anyway, it's just like some people aren't gonna like it, but some people are gonna love it, and you have to be okay with like not everyone liking your art, but still being okay with putting it out there. But definitely, like, it's okay to be introverted. Like, not everyone's gonna be extroverted, but you can be introverted and still put yourself out there, I think, and network. But it's definitely a skill to learn, and I feel like a lot more artists need to network and put themselves out there, because that's the only way people are going to find out about you and find out about the work you do and know the work you do.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you make great art, right, and no one sees it, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Right. And it's probably not that bad than you think, right? You think it sucks, but it's probably not that bad.
Yeah.
Well.
And you know what? If it's bad, someone might give you some tips on like how to make it better, maybe, and that's how you improve, and that's how you make it better. But if you have if no one's looking at your work, then you don't get any feedback at all, right? So everyone has their own style, has their own themes that they're working on, and gotta show it to the right people.
I think for
I feel like you can't manifest it unless you speak it out into the universe. You know, like if you don't leave your house, if you don't get out of your own way, like of course you're not gonna get what you want. But if you keep persisting and you don't take no for an answer, like I got a million no's before I started getting yeses. You know, like you have to grind, like you do, and you gotta have that New York mentality with your own life. Like yes, we're in California. Yes, it's good to go to yoga. It's good to find balance, you know. But you can't lose that killer instinct because you're the driver of your own life. And if you allow somebody else to put you on cruise control, like that's on you, you know. Like you're gonna regret it when when it's your last moments. You're like, fuck, what did I do with my life? You don't want to be like, man, I should have said something, or I should have done that, you know, like. You're gonna fall a million times. Like it's part of the journey. Like you have to fall. And you have to make mistakes, and then you find the gold in that. You know, like yeah, there's lessons to be learned, not just like the universe slamming a door on you. You just find a way to pick that door. You know, or you find a way to break through the wall. Like
or another door will open up for you.
Or another door will open up. But like yeah, I don't know.
When one door closes, another one opens.
And there's like a million doors out there, not just one door. So, you know, don't get caught up in that.
Yeah.
And there's like this scene in this like Beatles movie from like the 70s called Yellow Submarine. And like they're all just like, there's like this really long hallway like full of doors. And you just see them running through like all the doors, and like each room is like some other universe, and like that's life, you know. Like there's a lot of universes out there. There's a lot to explore. Like
isn't that crazy? Because I think sometimes there is no wrong door. You know what I'm saying? Like
there's no wrong door.
No, sometimes it's like what you decide the door you want to enter into. But I don't think there's a wrong or right door. It's just like how you decide what you decide to enter into is, you know, might lead you into something else that you never even expected. Yeah.
Yeah, just having like good energy, you know, and like making sure that when you move in that direction instead of like the negative.
And not,
you know,
also about like not having expectations too, right? Because a lot of times we think like, oh, I'm gonna do this and do that and decide and be on this path. And I'm going to expect it to be the way that I thought it was going to be, or the way that I planned it out to be. And like, life has taught me that that's never the case where you...
It's a fine line, I feel like.
Yeah.
Right? You want to expect, at the same time you don't want to. Because like you don't want to get your hopes down, you don't want to...
You don't want to be disappointed.
Right, you don't want to be disappointed, but at the same time, if you don't have that, it's like you're not going to go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
You're just going to be scared of everything,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. Like a fine line between dream and reality.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have like that goal that you're trying to attain for, and that is like, you know, your direction that you're going to.
like a general direction, not like a specific like I'm gonna get this exact job title at this exact company,
Right.
and I'll be at this exact life for like until I die, you know. If you have like more of a broad, you know, thing like I want to become a better human being this year, what are some ways I can do that?
Like a real purpose.
Yeah, like having purpose instead of like clear, defined, like this is it, you know, like because that's never gonna be it. It's gonna keep evolving and changing and fluctuating, you know, like that's how life is.
Do you think you being in the business of art, like it's more of a business than the art form? Like, do you think there's pressures that are being pushed on people because of the art space? Like, of the price point, of the exposure, of like getting gigs, all those things, like
it's not about the art anymore.
Right. Is it more about the business side?
I would say not necessarily in public art, at least the work that I'm doing now. Just because, you know, it's a government job and we definitely pay artists, but I'm sure if like they were doing something on a private with a private company, they definitely probably would be getting way more money, you know.
But then your
But
audience
that's like
changes.
but that's not the purpose of public art either, you know. The public art is meant for everybody.
Not like exclusively. for
Yeah,
this
it's not
particular
exclusively for like some
company
private company or
campus.
campus. Yeah, like only certain people are gonna see it. Public art is meant for everyone. And so I think artists go into it knowing that, you know, the art is gonna be out in the open for everyone to see, for the whole city, the whole bay, and like, and that in itself is something that, I mean, if I were an artist, I would love that too.
More than the money.
Yeah, that my artwork was in a place that was accessible to everyone and that everyone could enjoy and build a relationship with and like see it in all its different angles and dimensions, day and night, different times of the day. It's just a different experience, you know, from seeing the artwork in a gallery where it's like, okay, I'm seeing it in this light in only certain hours of the day, and I'm experiencing it in this setting all the time. Versus like public art, you know, sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's light, sometimes it's dark, sometimes like other things, like other people or other things around the area are gonna affect how you see the art. Like music playing, like I don't know, conversation. So it's always gonna be a different experience.
Right.
Even though it's the same piece.
Right.
So I think that's also something really cool about public art because you always can see it in a different way.
Agreed. So it sounds like right now you kind of have to balance as an artist. Like if you're trying to go into like public art, you can't rely on just like living off of public art. Like in the example for like Musée, like it sounds like he had to like kind of forge his own lane, and in the meantime, in between.
Oh yeah,
you kind of
definitely. I
come
mean, he was
across-
still he was working at SF MoMA still in the beginning as a preparator, so he was like helping to put up artworks and install and all that stuff. I mean, you can't just. I think as an artist, you can't depend on just one sole thing as being a way to get your money. Especially if you're trying to pursue like being a professional artist or whatever, you have to like go about it with a bunch of different venues of like your art. So like, yeah, he was doing preparator stuff, but he was also making art, but he was doing art. So it's just kind of like portfolio of everything.
Yeah.
But I think artists understand that. I mean, it's not easy being an artist, let alone making good money or living wage out of being an artist
Right.
in any industry. So it's hard.
There's definitely like a strategy to it, you know? And like the ones that are full-time artists, like they have a team of people working with them to make sure that it's their business side is covered too.
Exactly.
You know, it's like art is almost seen as disposable sometimes, like people just copy whatever, right? Like you have to figure out ways to protect yourself, and you know, I think that if you figure that out earlier on, and you figure out the value in your work, and you find people that see value in what you do, like then that can happen, you know? Like there has to be some self-confidence there, right? Like,
I have a question.
Yeah.
This is something that was a recent conversation within Nüfly. So me more recently kind of like coming across artists, I've realized that there's not with that word like in the internet age also, there's this kind of there's like two narratives of an artist that they can go down, right? The first route is the artist. The artist over here protects their work, cherishes their work, holds it very dearly to their heart, and it is like their identity. And then there are the professionals who do the same medium, but for them it's like getting a check out of it, continuing to do what they want to do and get paid for it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So with these two routes going down, from your observation, has there like do you have any thoughts on like the artist mentality versus the professionals like mentality? Like, should someone be holding dearly to the art and protecting it because it is their identity, you know? Or is there some form of balance they should kind of go through? Or should, at this time of age, at the internet age where things are needed so quickly, you know, should artists maybe tend to let go of their work and maybe like, I guess not be too protective of it, but if you're not protective of it, you kind of would lose your identity in the meantime too. Like,
or like not wanting to be a sellout or something.
Right.
I definitely feel like it's a balance for sure. I mean, the great thing about like technology now is like you can be true to your art, and because of social media, more people are able to see that art that you create versus like back in the day, it's like, well, I make art, but not a lot of people can see it or can find me or can see the art that I do. And because you're opening up that space for more people to see your art, there's always going to be some kind of group of people that will be down for it, because I feel like with different industries or different types of art, there's always going to be some kind of fan of that artwork, because art is so subjective, right? That maybe someone just has a personal liking to your art, which other people might not see. But going back to like the whole sellout thing, like I think personally, like it's okay to have like your personal art and like your identity with the art, but I don't think there's anything wrong with if if people like your art and they want to buy your art, and if you can keep true to the pieces or the artwork that you're making, but still be able to sell it, make a livelihood off of it, cool. I think it's just more about like whatever you're doing, having the right intention about it. So if it's like, this is my art and I'm gonna keep it for myself, then that's your intention of it. But if you're like, this is my art and I'm gonna sell it, and that's why, and that's what I want to do, then that's your intention of how you want to go about it. But it's also in the mindset, like, I don't know, it's complicated for artists, right? Because
100%.
I've definitely been there where I'm like, I was with Don when we were like when we were in Fan Collective had like an event, and I was selling a painting at some street food, and there was this couple that wanted to buy my piece, and I was like, okay, cool. But then they asked me like, oh, how much are you trying to sell it for? And I was like, oh, $250. And then they like were like, oh, like thinking about it, because they weren't sure if they wanted to spend that much money on my piece. And then I was like, Don, like, should I lower it? Should I not? I don't know what to do. Or lower the price for it. And he was like, nah, like, just stick to like, this is whatever you think the price it's worth for, like, you should just stick to it. Like, that's your work, don't even question that.
It's your worth.
That is your worth. And like, someone may not buy it, but maybe someone else will. But don't ever lower your worth or what you think your art is worth more, just because someone's not interested in getting it for that price or that value.
I think that ties back into intention, right? Like, are you making this art to sell?
Right.
So you can make a livelihood out of it, or are you making it because you think it's
your art and you're putting it out there? Yeah.
I think that's like the underlying pressure with social media, right? Like we want to promote our work, but also it gives us this like invisible hand of like, oh, I need to keep pushing, I need to keep making content. And then like, oh, do I go the route of selling these $100 flyers, versus $500 for one flyer. You know what I mean? Like, which way do I go? And I feel like everyone kind of goes through that same crisis as an artist. Like, do I have to lower my wealth to get more exposure? Or do I increase my wealth? And, you know, like, do I increase my selling point to whatever? And then that just ties back to your intention too, right? Like, I think it's hard for everybody to figure that out. Like, we're all in that constant limbo. Like, I want to do art for a living, but then, like, how am I gonna get more exposure? Or like, all these factors come in, and I think, I don't know, we should like talk about that more, right? Like,
yeah, like, are you like a for-hire professional, or are you an artist? Like, are you getting paid like, you know, Takashi Murakami, or are you
for hire artists, or are you an artist?
Right.
It's like you have to make a certain decision, right? And I think like when you reach that crossroad, the deciding factor is like, all right, how much do I trust my vision, or am I going to have somebody else dictate what my vision is? You know, like.
And sometimes it'll be like that, right?
Yeah.
But you're choosing, if it's going to be that route where someone's dictating it, that is your choice that you're choosing for that to be.
Right.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with being a for-hire professional.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong about just being a designer and you take somebody else's direction if that's what you enjoy and you feel like, you know, you don't have that voice within you that needs to get out, you know.
Or sometimes you're just doing it for the money because you
Yeah.
need the money.
Exactly.
Or sometimes you do
Nothing
nothing
wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong
Or
with
you
that.
sometimes do it for the money, but
gotta
like
eat.
you have to make a decision. When you make that decision, that is your decision, and like you shouldn't be second guessing it.
Yeah.
So I guess the takeaway is like the intention behind what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I mean, the balance at least that works for me right now is that I have a client that I go to where I take the instructions, but here at Nüfly it's like 180 where like we're kind of creating what we want, and I think that balance has worked out for me really well.
That's why I look at my union job, you know, like when I show up to a job call, I do stage production and like we got a show to build. Like, okay, we're gonna load in these trucks, we're going to set up the show. Sometimes I'm on it the show and we make sure it all runs and I take direction and I'm just part of this whole, you know, monster, I guess. You know, like I'm part of the machine here. I'm here to make sure everything works. That is my function, you know. I go there and then that's it. And when the job call is done, I leave and that's cool. Like, I have no emotional attachment to that whatsoever. But if I'm doing like creative work outside of my union, I definitely am a lot more picky about what I work on because I feel like it is an extension of myself. And like I've separated my life to this dichotomy, you know, and like when I'm doing the creative work, like I've decided I'm not for hire. Like you come to me for my particular taste, my particular style, and like how I do things, and like you know from like the work, you know, because I've been grinding, right? Like I decided to grind and make this it. Like I decided, right?
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's interesting too because as much as I go down that route too, I can't help but to think like, am I limiting myself, you know, by sticking to a particular style? Because like, for example, for me, like I specialize in like studio photography, you know, but if like a client kind of comes through and like, yo, we want you to shoot maybe like 80 looks in like 3 hours. Like, this is just an example, you know, like, can you do that, you know, and like maybe if I accepted that gig, I would have learned a quicker process on how I can like get through my work sessions. Or do I kind of bite the bullet and go like, I shoot slower. If you're gonna work with me, I'm gonna give you your results, but it's not gonna be that fast, you know.
So tug and pull.
Yeah, you know. I have a few other freelancer friends too. Like they, how should I say it? They kind of based what they do on like the scale of the project, right? Like before they accept the gig, they're like, all right, let's talk about this. Like, what do we need for production? Do we need to hire anyone in between? Because their mentality is more like, if you're gonna hire me for something, let's get it done. You know, like one way or another, like let's see what I can do into this project, or going the other route of like that's not my style. You know, like I wouldn't shoot that. You know.
But like, let's say you've already like done those jobs before. Like that's what I mean about when you reach your crossroads, right? Like you've been for hire, you've worked with clients, you know how that goes. Like you already learned all the lessons you need to learn from that experience. Like, and then you decide like I don't want to do that anymore. Like, cause you decide you have your own voice and you're practicing it, right? I feel like that's what I mean. Like, you know, you gotta put in the time.
Yeah.
You gotta be grinding. And you gotta be learning those lessons, and then you learn newer lessons by having that voice within you, and like pursuing the like things the way that you've done it because you've had success already, you know, and like you've seen the results and you've seen the impact. So yeah, I think there's lots of stages to being an artist, and I think. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to figure it out. There's value in standing on your own, like I truly believe that.
Yeah, and being able to like know, being very familiar and like know the work and the value you create with your work and sticking to that and being like, well, this is how I work, this is how my practice and what I do, and being okay with that. And I think it's a matter of just like knowing the work that you do and being familiar with the work that you do, to not even like question it in the first place.
Right, it's kind of
just
like
me, you know?
maybe the perspective isn't like this is how I do it. It's more like these are my limitations. You know, when you're working with me, I can only do this much. You know, rather than saying like, oh, this is how I do it. It's more like, hey, I'm just trying to be real with you. I can do up to all these over here. But if you're trying to do that, like maybe you know you could tap me in for one part. We hire someone else for that.
You know, like
like
Miyazaki takes 3 years to get an animation film done. There's teams of people working on it. There's a structure, you know, like that's how it's done. Like when Wes Anderson is working on a movie, you know, like he's probably working with the same crew. He's definitely created like relationships with people, and like there's trust there, and like there's a style, there's a way of doing things, and like each movie isn't exactly like the other, like the last, you know. Like just because they have a certain way and a certain style of doing something doesn't mean that they're telling the same story all the time. They might be connected, but it's still its own world, it's still its own universe, and there's plenty of lessons to be learned from doing that, you know, in that particular way. So I think that's what I mean.
I like that. Know your intentions. Identify your limitations.
Balance.
Balance what?
Just balance everything. Right? There's a balance to everything.
But also, like you can reach for the heights, you know.
I think
like
you should. I've always
you shouldn't be like, oh, there's a glass ceiling there. Like I'm just kind of get like up to the top of it and just look up, you know. Like I think there's like a way you can break that shit open and then go, oh shit, like it's all access up here. Like
one of the things I know Frida in that blog post mentioned like what she say like don't set yourself up for failure by identifying extraordinary goals. I think otherwise we're like if your goal is not a crazy idea, like it's not a good goal. I don't think it's a good goal in the first place. Your goal should be like again like highlighting the process. Like, it's a process of how far you can go, but it has to be crazy enough for you not to reach it.
Sure.
So anything that happening in between, you know, like
will at least get you closer to what you're trying to do.
Right, or it will leave you unfazed also. You know, like through this process you're gonna come through a lot of hiccups, you're gonna work with a lot of people who don't want to, bridges gonna be burned, you know, but it's that crazy ass goal that you're going for that like keeps you, in this case, balanced. You know, your goal.
because you have that like you know, holding it down for you inside because of that foundation.
Right.
You know.
Get crazy ass goals.
I think the crazier the goal.
Body break.
Actually, I need to pee too. Hold up.
They're peeing. No, it's weird because you know you guys talk about like setting like extreme goals or just kind of shooting for the stars, but for me it's like I can't do that.
What do you mean?
There was always like I never set myself like, oh, I'm gonna be this person, that I'm gonna do this, achieve this, whatnot, ever in my life. You know, I'm down with being safe, but I don't know. It's weird. Like everyone's different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I think it's
like I do say that I want to have an agency or be some sort of creative director, whatever. Like that is a goal of mine, but I don't think that's like my life purpose to have a role or obtain some sort of, you know, recognition or tangible thing. It's like I'm not trying to buy a Bentley or anything.
Right.
Like I think what Aleta was talking about earlier about influencing, I think that's kind of like my biggest passion.
right.
Right.
It's an unattainable. There's no way to measure it.
Yeah.
You know, and I agree with that too. Like by at least having something like that in mind, like your like unattainable, unmeasurable goal, it could at least give you direction.
Right.
And where you're going.
Yeah.
Because then if you're just like, I want to be an art director, I want a Bentley.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get those.
Yeah.
And then what, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So
Another
it has
goal
to
that
keep, make it more fucking like, yo,
Right.
I wanna be like number one in like America or something like.
Right.
I guess there's a way to measure that, but
Yeah.
it's.
This is what my buddy asked me. He's like, what's your dream car? Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can answer it if you want to. But
like a 350Z.
350Z, right?
Right.
You're not gonna get the 350Z. You're gonna get that Integra, Acura Integra, but you can shoot for the 350Z. You know what I mean? You're always gonna get that one step lower because of what your ceiling is, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna go for a Bentley, I'm probably gonna get what? I don't know what's cheaper than a Bentley, Lambo, whatever. I don't know, but you get what I mean. It's like, yeah, you can set the goal, but there shouldn't be a ceiling. Like, I asked a bunch of my buddies this, you know what I mean?
There shouldn't be a ceiling. See, that's what I mean by like your goal should be insane.
Insane.
You know, if it's not insane, it's not a good goal in my opinion. Yeah.
I asked my buddy the same question. He's like, I want a spaceship. You know what I mean? So I was like, dang, like, okay, you're gonna get that Bentley, you know? That's super interesting. I don't know. I kind of want to talk about like the social pressure of being an artist, right? Like, there's all these deadlines. There's money to be accounted for. Like,
Dude, I think I'm allergic to that candle.
Me too. I have a rush.
My eyes, like that's why I had to put eye drops in the middle of the. My eyes were like stinging.
I have a rash on my head.
Can I see?
Shit. From what?
I don't know. It's
From
itchy.
the candle?
And my throat is like weird.
Oh.
Damn, Corona.
Like maybe that and that. I don't know, whatever it is. In both of those candles, my eyes like I've never had that problem with this.
This isn't lit right now, so.
I know, but I'm
don't
thinking like the
blame
other
my
one.
candle.
Don't blame PF candles.
Do you want me to
That
have
might
this
be
too?
why you're rashing
Do you want me
too.
to? I'm not rashing. I just have dry skin right now. I'm shedding. I don't know.
Scary.
What is in here?
How about also?
Gemini. Are you a Gemini?
Yeah,
Ah.
I am Gemini, but Belinda bought it more based on the scent.
Bergamot?
Oh,
Yeah.
bergamot is really good.
What's bergamot?
It smells
It
great,
smells
but
really
like
good.
whatever
I don't know what it is.
is that my eyes
What is
are
Can I
like
smell it?
It's like wet, or
it's wet.
it's like
In liquid
melted.
form.
Liquid.
Oh yeah, this is bergamot.
I don't know what bergamot is.
It smells great, but like I'm fucking my eyes are beautiful.
I think
I want to make a summary of things. What did we say? We said be intentional. Be intentional.
Can we go on standby and mute the mic for a second?
Yeah. We're gonna be talking about some sensitive things on our price sheet, and we don't really want to share numbers just yet. So please bear with us in the meantime while we mute our microphone. Thank you. Okay. I would turn back in.
So do you think it's pretty much done?
We need to know
This one?
if
Do you want to watch it?
they can do custom
I saw
sets.
it. It's really good.
Right, because then right here they're saying like, oh, you could do like a
I
customized
think
logo,
this- I think
customized
I'm
packaging.
missing
It's soy wax, 500. But they don't mention anything about like, oh, can you
Like, this is
do custom scents?
huh?
Do you think we're gonna have
I don't know how good the food is going to be. Justin.
Weekend.
That's what we can do.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not here
To be honest,
Wait, can people watch Twitch?
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
going the
They
DIY
can watch
route.
you.
Yeah.
It's like on your channel.
I'm more
Yeah.
concerned about our
Okay.
capacity. So I feel like hella picky
Watch
on
it
this.
back later.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, you put
Sorry.
some
Put
wax,
some
bro.
moisturizer on right now, real quick, bro. Sorry. What were we saying?
You're right. You're right. You're totally right.
Huh?
I would say even like if we did the vendor first
Yeah.
and then we do the DIY, that would make more sense to me.
I see.
Like we kind of have like here's our standard of how these candles could be like, but this is what we would change.
I see.
You know? And sometimes the vendors can deal if we build a healthy kind of relationship
sure,
with them,
they'll
they'll
probably
adjust for
better,
us.
yeah.
Yeah. Moisturize people. Okay.
Hello. I am Inter.
Okay. Okay. Well, Aleta, thank you for your insights on everything. It was
that was so fun.
that was a good
Thanks
conversation.
for having me.
Great
Yeah,
conversation.
for sure.
Yeah, that was a really
That was
good
a conversation. Maybe I
Just
can
in
extract the
general.
audio and transcribe it.
What did we say again? It was be intentional.
Be intentional. Gosh.
It was so clear at first. Be intentional.
Put your work out.
Put your work.
Put your work out.
Oh yeah.
Put your work out.
Yeah. Definitely put your work out.
Share your work.
Share your work.
Share your work.
Um,
Know your worth.
Know your worth.
Yes, that's a big
good
one.
Know your worth.
Network.
Network.
Be a fucking human being. Yeah. Share your toilet paper. You don't need those 8 packs you got from Costco.
Take away tips. Tips for aspiring artists. Okay.
Subscribe to SFAC.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you should.
Sorry,
like,
that
if
was
you
a lot.
want to know what's going on in public art for the city, definitely sign up for that. SF Arts
Check out
Commission.
sfartscommission.org.
Shout out to Muse and Part 2 Gallery.
Yes.
Muse Part 2 Gallery. It's funny.
Also, if you can support Part 2 Gallery in any way possible, their rent is going up, and so they're trying to figure it out. But we want to keep local galleries in the Bay Area and in Oakland, so anything you can do to help, or if you know of anything, or anyone that got some money that can help them out, help them out. You know? They're doing good stuff, and they're supporting a lot of local artists. So.
Gotcha. I hope. Yeah, our microphone's working.
Was the mic on?
Yeah, the mic was on for this last part. It's been hella funny talking to you.
No one can hear.
Okay. Cool. I like that. Thank you, Aleta, for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
That was fun.
Not the last time.
I'm hungry. Are you gonna eat?
I'm hungry.
I was trying to
I haven't ate anything today besides the fifth bar.
You guys.
I only had a bar too.
You guys could go eat. I could handle the last hour of the stream.
Do you want food?
Can I show you the video?
Can you play here? Is it on Vimeo somehow, some way?
Yeah.
Oh, you posted it already.
On Vimeo.
Is it? Yo, we're about to get some exclusive Zen Rabbit content on the big screen.
Are we gonna be able to hear it?
Yeah. If it's from Vimeo.
Okay. I meant, like, are we gonna be able to hear it too? Like, not just.
No.
Only then.
Yeah. Let's do it at least one time for a guest, and then we could play from yours just to.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Get a little treat.
Exclusive.
Okay. All right, waiting for that private link.
Don't share the passwords.
Don't worry, man.
Passwords.
Okay, how about we play this at the same time from like you out there?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Is it gonna be feedback?
I don't know. We have one watcher. I think it's Gina. To be honest.
Is it?
Oh, what's up, Gina?
What's up, Gina?
What's up, Gina? Who's Gina?
My girlfriend.
Okay, that's girlfriend.
Okay, tell us when B, and I'll press play at the same time. 3.
Oh, no. Wait.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yo, I cock back, I'm back, tactics, upload the ammo. Surprise when I enter, because y'all MCs know the real, I peel your back.
I've never shown Dawn anything. Every time I show you anything, you'll just get annoyed. That's literally
Well, first and foremost, fire shit. What if like moving forward we do like a long shot, right? But we have like credits roll up. So these BTS start feeling like a film. We start maybe looking into title cards. Like I could collaborate with you on that. But you know how similar to like music videos, you have like a title card, and then at the end they just have like maybe like Miles just like sitting there, but there's like credits rolling up, and it's like the whole like anyone work with BTS in the meantime. We should give credits to Miles also for being there.
You have to have a big enough team to put like hella credits.
Even if it's just like one little bar, it's just the fact that we're like putting that extra like little film,
like,
short film
like
finesse.
Solange's short film that she
Right.
All the credits at the end.
Right.
Sorry, I'm trying to organize my ride to Novato. I wasn't trying to dish your video tracks. Sorry. I don't want it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm not trying
She complains about this all the time, man. She's like, fucking dog, dude. Get your shit together,
I'm never sending him any passwords.
What are you talking about? I watch all your videos. I watch all her videos.
Chat, what do you guys think? Cool. Thanks for that, B. What do you think needs to be worked on that?
I want to add in Kaz's footage.
Mm-hmm. I noticed some of the color grading. Just
Yo, I cock back tactics, upload the ammo. When I enter, because y'all MCs know the real, I peel your back.
like not contrasty.
You know what? On there, on that monitor it does, but not on hers.
Oh, not on hers.
Yeah.
This monitor. Can you talk about this
'cause,
monitor a little
like,
bit?
You see that monitor and you see that.
Yeah, cause then like I've even noticed like I did like editing on this laptop, but
Right.
yesterday when I brought it in, I was talking to Belinda
Right.
that
So-
when I viewed it over here.
So your guys' laptops are Retina screens. This is not a Retina screen. So the color grading is totally different.
So I should not be color grading on this big screen.
No.
But
You should just do layout. Yeah.
I know my color grading is done. Like, I was color grading here last night.
how much does it cost to get a Retina display?
Oh snap!
Fucking
A
expensive. Like a couple thousand.
A couple
Or
thousand. Retina Mac
Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt display.
If Nüfly makes themselves like a LLC or something.
Am I looking at that right?
Refurbished. You want a refurbished?
I wouldn't mind a refurbished one.
I don't know.
For the black market? Oh.
I know, seriously.
Refurbished back market.
Shit.
Let's just look up Retina MacBook display. Damn. Okay.
If y'all put in though.
Yeah, right.
Oh, we're we can barely make red
So,
right
you
now.
know what's a
like,
good one? Samsung. Samsung Retinas.
It'd be cheaper.
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure it's
Samsung
Samsung.
Retina. Oh yeah, I could afford. I could buy
What's
that.
an LCD?
Oh no. Okay, well we could look more into that later.
Well, let me call.
Alright.
Man, it's fucking loud out here.
I know, bruh.
I asked Belinda what all the fans were about, and she told me that this place almost caught on fire.
Yeah, that's apparently the sprinklers went
Renter's
off.
insurance?
I know, you need
Don't.
renter's insurance or
No.
something.
We
Like, what if you leave your, like, one of your laptops
we
here,
don't
you know?
leave our laptops in here.
But the monitor.
Well, we didn't.
You burn the monitor.
Burn it.
No, it's because Dom brought it in, and I think he got from work. Yeah. If we get insurance, I'm sure like everything in here is like less than
I know.
2,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even less than that.
Because then you're tiered by brackets of the value in here.
I don't leave my laptop. Besides my cold rooms that I can scan.
Okay. Cool. If
Because
you
my shit does not look like, if you look at it from here, like, here, I'll show you.
How do you know if it's muted or not?
it will be
The light,
flashing. Yeah, it'll be flashing if it's muted.
This is like off of Premiere.
Oh, one sec. I'm gonna come there. Oh, I think I closed our Twitch live stream. There we go.
I feel like you're.
I want to see this Twitch stuff. I don't know how to use this stuff.
You use a trackpad.
This?
Oh, no, on the laptop.
Laptop.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah. I gotta go. I'm sorry.
He's leaving while you're playing your video.
Yeah,
Whatever.
You know it.
I said I was gonna say very nice.
Yo, wait, who are you going with?
Hey, let me know when you're
Probably
play
like do more
Katana.
of those like
I want to be invited.
Yes.
like reflective,
I feel like I never see Connie
like
anymore.
forward. Like
You were.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, okay.
I don't want to do
No,
too
I
much
do
of it
not.
that it becomes corny, but like I'm gonna start. I don't know. I just need some.
I'll take this.
Bop, bop.
Alright, later, y'all.
Bye. Have a good wedding.
Close your back door.
Hi. What do you want to do?
Adios.
Alright, I'll take over the stream.
I could totally.
Bye.
Bye.
Later,
Oh,
man.
well, I wanted to cook up something.
Alright, chat.
Yeah.
I am gonna take over. Let's go. Oh, what up, Han? Okay. Hang tight, hang tight.
When you buy a certified used Toyota Nüfly, you get up to $15,000 of prepaid fuel, so you can really take advantage of that 312-mile range.
So, today, at least from my end, guys. Oh, so let me just update everyone. So we still have Aleta and Belinda here. We just had a really insightful conversation with Aleta giving some insights for anyone trying to do SF public arts, like works that exist out in the public. Hold up. Hey, could you lower it, B?
Sorry.
B? Yeah.
You need to make
And yeah, so we'll get some clips on some good points during that conversation later up online. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead and resume back our workflow right now. So come join me inside InDesign. Let's do this. All right. InDesign. Alright, so let's see. The last thing we did with this, at the very least, last we spoke about, we had our friend Chris with us during that time. During that time, Belinda, Chris, and I discussed on arranging the photos, at least for Arumi's interview. To at first we had these pages here. Let me see if I can pull up the prior version. Give a little contrast. Okay, so here's the prior version we worked on. One of the things that we think would strengthen at least the flow. So we're working on layout design right now. At least the flow for the pictures seemed kind of scattered. We have some dark elements over here going into pink, going into blue. And we think as a reader it may kind of confuse you as you're seeing pictures and you're jumping from different scene to scene. So our revision note, our idea for switching up this layout were to keep the colors for the seamlessness and this environment where Arumi's in to be batched together. So as you can see over here for like the new layout that we're kind of working out on, we're trying to figure out how we can get all the pinks together, all like the blues together, and then maybe all the dark photos at the end together. So as you can see over here, you can see that over here we have a lot of the photos on the outside just as kind of placeholders in the meantime. So let's go ahead and spend some time on that right now. So we have, I'm trying to think of the flow over here. So
Make sure you color grade on your laptop.
Right.
Please.
Right.
Color grade on here. Layout design on here.
Yes. So just for some context on that, chat. Yesterday, how should I say it? During the week, I was editing some photos of Mao's photo shoot, which I thought came out very well, until I brought it into the office yesterday, and all of a sudden, all the colors looked really flat. So later, and I did more adjustments on the big monitor that we have here in the office, but Don just told us that our laptop monitors are actually more color accurate because it's a retina display, so we should actually be adjusting colors and tones on our laptop display rather than doing it on this big monitor that we have inside the office. Okay. Let's switch this up real quick.
What is it? Fine.
No, it's not fried chicken. It's like roasted.
There we go.
But it's really good. I've had it for the first time with Don.
Alright, let's work on this. So, okay. I think the first photo works really well. Second photo works really well. Third photo works really well. Trying to pay attention to the layout also. That looks good. That looks good. I think actually from here it's a great point to break into the pink backdrop. So maybe let me actually try something. So I see over here that there's the pink backdrop going on, but we actually had a second look using the pink backdrop too. So I'm going to see how it would look like if maybe we introduce how should this work? I guess like I think this kind of break where there's like two photos of the same fit should be a good break for the viewer to go into another look. So let's try to figure out how that might happen. Actually, let's try pushing. Let me see how this will flow like. So that. Let's see how it look like if we actually switch these two. Bada boom, bada bing. Drop that in here. Okay. So now I need to bring out this crop. Oh, forgot acid bleed over. Okay, that part looks good. Let me see. So I'm going this to this. Okay, now let's try putting this in the background. Oh, it's blurry. That means our links are not properly connected.
I guess now is not the time to go to a grocery store. What? There's not a long line everywhere. Costco.
I've heard these are all not affected in Asian markets. So if you go to like Pacific Super, Ranch 99, like it's cruise zone.
Alright.
Yeah, so factor that in. I also heard my older sister has a friend who works at SF Ecology. They're saying that the Ecology might make an announcement on Monday saying that SF might be quarantined for 2 weeks. So just,
What is that?
I don't know. Cause in like, if, for example, we're doing what Italy's doing, it's more like don't be out unless you need to.
Right.
So I think that means that a lot of businesses are gonna be shut down for like 2 weeks. Maybe, yeah, people are probably like buying food just enough for like 2 weeks at least. Yeah, so consider that. Alright. Let me now arrange this to the back. I think I want to change the layout a bit on this page. Let's see. Oh, what if Try something real quick. Bring that in. And what if we brought this one in? Oops, not the crop. Just trying to create some visual interest. Maybe actually, let's bring this crop all the way out over here. See how that looks. Maybe a little more. See if we get this one a little bigger. Maybe something like that.
Oh, that one? Yeah.
Okay, that looks pretty cool.
Pretty dope.
Okay,
Mint, I think.
switch.
Like this minty moment. So good.
Maybe.
Yeah. The composition. The geometry. Good. So good.
Maybe something like that.
One more export.
How long did they take?
Huh?
How long does it take?
Like, it's gonna be like 90 seconds? Sorry.
Alright. Boom. And the next look. Cool. Cool. Blank pages. Why is this page blank?
There's a lot of hair on this board.
Well,
There's a lot of hair on
my hair, I guess. Someone Kaz's.
Might try to bring this up. I'm gonna try switching this.
Who is this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a thicker.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Sure.
Interesting.
Not as soft.
I don't think this looks how I want it to look.
But the design is pretty set.
I think so. I think maybe.
So chat, in the meantime too, wonder what you guys' opinion is on the quote fonts. So I see this is at 15 point. What if, let's see, it was on 17. Let's try 15. Oop. 15.
If the grocery stores are hella online, I do not want to.
The kerning on the friendship looks a little weird. Oh, it's different type of kerning. Let's see, 50. Let's see what happens. Oops.
We should be able to go to like a liquor store or the
15. So our kerning at 50.
figure out if I should still have the get out of the journal.
I want to see how it look like. Maybe if we brought this one up. Nah, it should be justified to the right or left, not censor. Okay. What if we actually put the quote? Four lines. Is 15 too big? So I know 7 points is our normal size for our body copy. So maybe I think arguably we could make it smaller. Too small. 12. Okay. That looks good. Let's do our maybe nah. Oh shit. Alright. Enjoy the birthday. Thanks for coming through. Alright, I'll hold down for it. I'll close down everything like that.
Bye, Twitch.
Yeah. Alright guys, Aleta and Belinda are stepping out for the day. Oh, Aleta, if people want to find you, how can they find you? Just one more time for the audience.
At a.lee.ta.
That's Instagram. And we're going to have Belinda say goodbye too.
Hey guys, sorry I gotta go to my friend's birthday today, but I'll be back next week and we'll get some more stuff done next week. And maybe hopefully celebrate my birthday. I'm turning to 31, but this coronavirus shit scared the fuck out of me. I don't know. Should be fine. We'll all be fine. Don't panic. Don't panic. I'm talking to myself. Note to self.
Share the toilet paper.
Share the TP.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring one of these candles.
Alright guys, have a good day. Alright guys, you are stuck here with me. So let's hop back. Okay. I know, I always tell myself like the layout design shouldn't be this hard, but I am having a hard time. Like, for example, Things I'm thinking about when I'm looking at this is like, yeah, this first page looks really great. I'm talking about this page. Looks super awesome, looks super balanced. Going on to here looks still very good, but once you start getting over into our 7th and 8th page, it arguably looks very cluttered in my opinion. And the thing I always ask myself is like, would I read this? Right? I think that's a very good way to approach these kind of issues. Man, this is such low resolution. Oh, I was just taking time to load. So my thought process right now is, how can I make this look visually appealing? And since it's a large body of text, how can we get people to like say, hey, that looks pretty nice, I want to read it? Because right now it's, I don't think it's at where I want it to look like. Like this page, maybe that was a good idea, but in execution wise, it doesn't look as strong as I think it could. So let's go ahead and bring this photo back in and figure out how we can make this layout work. So I'm gonna shrink this photo just a bit, bring that in. So the page, here's how the page looks like. This crop's slow, funny, huh? What if we shrink it? Where it falls out over here, I think it's really weird for the eye to see. I think when I look at this photo, my eye, because there's no, I guess in this place where the shoe ends, it looks kind of funky. Maybe, okay, if I'm flipping through page 1, page 2, page, I'm gonna try something, guys. What if, so at least you could see my approach on how I'm doing this layout. I'm trying to offset if there's an image on one side for the first two spreads. Sorry, for the first spread. Oops. Whoa. What did I do? There we go. If there's an image on the first spread on the left side, I want to go ahead and then move it to the right side on the next one, just to make it feel kind of interesting when you're kind of flipping through. Like your eyes will have to travel. So my idea for this, man, I really want, let's bring it up. I really want one more line at that last part. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Okay, so my idea for this page was that we stretch this text box all the way across. See, that looks really odd. Maybe if I center it? Now it looks pretty empty, huh? Damn. Oh, this is so troubling. Yeah, this I am not satisfied with. It did actually look really good when it was just when it took up 2 columns and just on one side like that. Maybe there might be some merit. Let me think. What if is this Okay, just making sure the text box are connecting to the right place. Zoop, 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 zoop. Okay, right there. Ooh. There we go. Okay. What if it looks, you know what, maybe this is fine. Let's keep going with it. Or what if we offset the text boxes? What do you guys think about this? I guess my first question would be like, ooh, if you can offset the text box, there has to be a reason. I have no reason, so I'm gonna go ahead and just expand them all again one more time. Zoop. Okay. All right. Okay. I don't mind this right now. Photo sequence makes sense. Okay, let's just keep going. So, the introduction of quotes. Quotes is such a challenging thing because it really messes up the, how should I say it, the arrangement of this layout. It becomes like a variable. Let me just center this to the page real quick. Center to page. Okay. Oh, is that right? No, it should be up. Okay, there we go. So as I was saying with quotes, I guess I'm trying to find a stylistic way that makes sense for our magazine. I originally had this part as, oh, I'm seeing an issue already. Oh. Sorry. This issue that I'm seeing over here is, so there's a design term, a design term called Widows and Orphans. Widows and Orphans pretty much are new columns that finish a sentence from a prior column. You do not want these because it confuses the reader. Like, if you're reading off from this last line over here, you're gonna place your bet on the reader that they retained exactly what they read, flip through this next spread, then go to the next spread, and know exactly what you're talking about over here. We don't want stuff like this. So, I think the last time how I did it, nope, that's not how we're gonna do it. Oh, it's because the line went up from here. Damn it. I think we're gonna do maybe squeeze it back down. Let's see how that feels. Not bad. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'll keep it at that for now. Let's bring that up. What if I bring this upwards? I don't like it. So let's maybe keep that down here. Maybe for our quotes, we'll keep them at, let's put them back to 15.
Hi, welcome to Metro by T-Mobile.
Hey, my dad is in serious need of an upgrade.
Yeah, snapping an HD Retina display for just $99.99 after ID validation.
Wow, $99.99?
Bye-bye, Fossil.
Not bad, huh? What do you guys think? I do not have SoundCloud Premium, so please bear with these ads in the meantime. If you want to sponsor us, let us know. Alright, so our quote sizes are both 15. That looks good. Let's go ahead and bring this one up a little bit. Oh man, is this a quote? Oh yeah, quote's up there already. Okay. That looks good. Let me think about it. What if we bring this up? Yeah, I don't really like it. What I'm getting away from this is that when I see a quote in the bottom like this, it kind of reads as if this interview is ending here. Okay, so let's... Okay, so here's an issue I'm coming across right now. This sentence over here from this column should be attached to this part down here on the next column. So I need to figure out a way on how to push that part down. 1 second guys, I'm actually gonna switch the camera because I feel like you guys are getting a backlit version of me right now because our light is coming from that side. So hang tight, hang tight. Real quick, I'm gonna switch up our display so it would make sense when I move the MacBook to the other side. Moving this way. Okay, hang tight. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Shit. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this during live stream, but please bear with me. Gosh. Okay. Okay. There we go. Let's move this a little bit towards this side. Okay. How's that? I don't know. Cool. Okay. Let's resume. Sorry about that. Switch. Here we go. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. As I was saying, what if we had a quote in between the page? That'd be pretty cool, right? So we had one in between the page, maybe, just maybe. That no, that is not. Ooh, what if we nah. Let's see. How can we get this quote in here? Maybe I could let's look at some inspiration. Pull out a magazine. Okay. Let me see real quick. Everything is looking good. Okay. So what I'm doing right now is I was looking for some ideas on how we can get some quotes to look proper. I like this layout. What if I did something like that? What if? Okay, let me think. Let's bring. Okay. I am going to cut this one out. So I have these 4 rows over here. I guess what's on my mind right now is that if this picture, you see this line, oh, you guys can't see shit. This line, this visible line up here, I think kind of creates like a visual cue that when you're aligning things, like for example, this part should hit the bottom of this photo, but then it creates this block of empty space in the middle. So I guess kind of the question is like, should I keep that or should I don't see any harm in keeping it, right? This is not too bad. Let's go forward then. All right. Okay. Next page. So let's have our quote start at the bottom over here. Somewhere there. Maybe, no, maybe that's, this is gonna be like the same exact layout with the page on top just before this. This looks sick. That means I should change this up some way somehow. Wow, this looks really good. And for whatever reason, I can't figure out why it looks good. I need to think. Okay, so lines down there run across. Man, there's so much empty space over here that I feel like a quote is just asking to be on this side, man. So, ooh, what if I center the text box to this page? Let's try it. I mean, breaking some rules because this area up here, like this line should kind of, it should be like a full block, you know. It probably doesn't even make sense, does it? Well, let's go ahead and try this idea, shall we? Let's at least see whether or not this idea is gonna work. So I'm gonna grab our two text box over here, go to our alignment, base alignment off of align to page. Is that right? Yep. Centered. Okay. Right. Okay. Not too bad. Now, what if we off-centered this photo a little bit? And then I had the quote. I'm gonna have to justify this text box to the left and maybe, oops, maybe shrink its width. What do you guys think? That looks pretty cool. Can we take it a bit further and maybe, no, I won't even read that. Is this font size too big? It feels a little big, huh? 14? 14 doesn't look bad. Yeah, let's try 14. Okay, that part looks good. Okay, I'm liking how this is looking so far. Okay, that part looks pretty good. Okay. This layout is a little experimental, but let's update at least the font sizes so they're consistent. And I guess what jumps off to me right away is that there's a lot of space in between the quotes and the text box. So maybe if we erase it, let's see how that might look like. Is that too tight? Yeah, that feels a little too tight. Chat, what do you guys think? I need some assistance. Oh. Maybe if we brought it out like that, that looks kind of interesting. Yeah, that looks pretty interesting. I'm not too opposed at this. Nah, it does look a little chaotic, huh? I don't know. Let me see. So we're entering this look at this point. Maybe we can bring these two up. So again, oh shoot, I need to link this. Relink. How do I relink this? Okay. Roomy, assets, photos. This one? Nope. This one? Nope. This one. Yes, open. Okay, photo has been relinked. So what I've learned also recently was that if you're gonna be printing these out, you should be creating a bleed mark, and that's what this area is for. Pretty much what's going on with the bleed mark is that your printer is gonna print out a canvas that's larger than your final deliverable. So for example, our magazine at this point, we're thinking that the page dimensions are going to be 9.25 inches wide and 12 inches long. And if you're going to be doing full page bleeds, whereas like you see over here, the colors meet all the way to the corner, you have to give your printer a kind of like buffer space on where they're going to print and then slice off a specific area on that spread. So that area that's going to be the buffer size in this case is this like 1/4 inch bleed over here. So what I need to do at this point is to, let's go ahead and make this just a little bigger. Yup. Make sure it's centered. Center is looking good. I think this should go up a little bit. And then just make it a little bigger. Cool. Oh, now it cut off too much. Crap. Okay, we're actually gonna have to take this photo into Photoshop right now. What's happening right here is that this length, this little tip over here, this image technically needs to bleed over to that side, but with the bleed, it cuts off the shoe, so I want to keep the shoe. So let's go ahead and open that in Photoshop right now. Let's fix this. Photoshop. And open up our photo. One moment. I'm gonna switch this to columns. Nüfly. Photos. Nah. Trying to pull up this image right now so I can retouch the length of this photo. Yep, this is the one. Okay. So as I was saying, I want this photo to be, let's make this canvas size a lot bigger. Okay. So I'm gonna want this canvas size, let's give it like 3 inches. So I'll say +3 inches. And now I'm gonna go ahead and stretch this photo. Whoop, duplicate. How can I do this? I think I'm gonna go here. Free transform, distort. Stretch it out. Okay. Now this part. Free transform, distort. Just stretch out, give us more in this corner. Okay, that looks good. Sometimes when I do this, it leaves kind of a weird distortion and a noise over here. We'll take care of that in a bit. Okay. Now, let me grab this area. Same process. Free transform. Not perspective. Distort. Stretch it upwards. Right. Corners are looking good. So what I'm doing right now, oops, sorry, was that a little loud? So what I'm doing right now is expanding the photo. So we could see, no, expanding it so we can meet the bleed lines inside the actual photo for the spread. Okay, that looks good. Okay, let's double check and create a new solid layer in the background. Probably make it red so I could see if there's anything. So I'm gonna inspect the corners, see if there's any red. Looks good. Okay, so as I was saying before, like areas like this, we're gonna have to take up. We stretched it out and it kind of warped out this entire area. So I'm gonna do some frequency separation on this one. Let's hide that. Okay, so it's the texture layer that we need to mostly work with. But in the meantime, let me just, what I'm doing right now is fixing up the shadows in the back and the color. Oops. Yep. Just fixing up the tones in the back. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, now the texture layer. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this corner, drag it over here. So what I'm doing here, we got these really stretched out pixels over here, and the logic or the concept of what I'm doing right now is with this frequency separation action that I just did. I was able to separate the texture. Like if you look at our subject over here, the texture, and then the skin is, I guess, the blurred out areas, allowing you to work on individual parts of the layer. And by working on just a texture layer, you could see over here. Here, I'm gonna drop the levels to show you guys what I'm doing. Do you see that? This area right here that's kind of warped out with this texture, I'm gonna go ahead and move it over to a healthy area just to take away some of that stretch. Bring it up to this area because it was taken care of. Yep. Looking good. This area. Okay. This area, let's bring it over to this side. Got a little hair in there. Take that out. Okay. Think about this side, looks pretty good. Cool. Oh, I could kind of notice some distortion on this side. Maybe if we blur it, I'm gonna go to the skin tool with the lasso tool selected. let's go ahead and just grab this area. If you guys have any questions on what I'm doing too, feel free to let me know in chat. But in the meantime, I'm gonna keep working on this. Maybe blurring at 9. Yeah. Sorry, our window's open. Maybe I should close it. Just fixing the shadows here just a little bit. Boom. Yep, okay, cool. Let me get the specs on this real quick. Image canvas size. So just for reference, I'm gonna write down 26 by 38. So I'm gonna file, export as let's go ahead. JPEG, okay. Export. There we go. Save. Alright, let's go back into InDesign. So again, what I was doing over here was that I want this shoe to fit within the canvas of the magazine, but at the same time I need bleed to happen over here in this area. You see that red line? This image should technically like go over to this red line, but again it's cutting off the shoe. So what I just did in Photoshop was expand the seamless, and let's go ahead and re-link this one. All right, can we change the link? There's our 26 by 38. Is this it? Yep, this is it. Oh, the colors. Colors look a little dimmer. Am I tripping? Well, let's try it. Okay, so as I was saying, this picture let's enlarge it. Oh, nope, that was a canvas. Boom. Yes, okay. Perfect. Okay, so like I said earlier, we have these bleed marks identified as this red line that's going around our spread. And again, for your printer, if you're gonna have if your photo is touching this line up here where like the actual page is gonna be, I've been taught that you need to create a bleed line, which is this red one out here, and your photo should exceed towards the bleed line in order for, because what's gonna happen is that the printer is gonna print this all out and then cut. They're gonna print it out to the bleed line and then cut it down, and that way you won't run the risk of having some white lines because you didn't have any bleed lines. Cool. And that looks good. Okay, now I need to figure out another layout for down here. Guys, we are wrapping up on our live stream for today. I think I am gonna go ahead and wrap it up right now. So yeah, a lot of different things happened today. We had a guest, Aleta. Thank her for coming through. She kind of discussed her work lifestyle, working with San Francisco Art Commission in the meantime. In addition to that, our team had a lot of deliberation on the merchandise that we're trying to create for everyone. That will, how should I say it? We're kind of making like a pricing sheet in the meantime for that, and hopefully like we'll figure something out on that. But that's what's going on behind the scene. We're also working on some merch in the meantime. But yeah, in the meantime too, for at least my part, it was the spread for Arumi that we're working on. I also have 2 other photo shoots of photos that I haven't finished retouching yet. So yeah, maybe next time we'll be working on the photos instead. And yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in for the stream. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Once again, I am your host, Daniel. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Dakfu. That's DAKFU. And if you guys have any questions, let us know. We love to talk to everyone. Stuttering over here. I need to slow down. But yeah, thank you again for tuning in. And it's a crazy time everyone's kind of going through right now with the virus happening, with the primaries going on. It's a little hard, honestly, to focus on your work when so much of our livelihood depends on everything else working in the outside world. So more props to independent contractors, freelancers. We're all feeling the repercussions of what's going on right now, and I'm just hoping that everyone stays calm, take it seriously, maybe stock up some food up for like 2 weeks. Do not hoard anything in the meantime. I'm not a doctor, but from what I've heard are that masks are mostly useful for people who are already sick. So if you're not sick, don't be hoarding masks, because people who are sick need that. And yeah, be kind to one another. Until next week, at least, guys. Gonna be signing off right now. Peace. Thank you. All right. Peace out, guys.